In popular political discourse, elections are heralded as the ultimate expression of democracy, a sacred moment when a sovereign people gathers to decide its destiny. Political science views elections through a far more pragmatic and institutional lens. Competitive elections aren't just a voting mechanism, they are an institutionalized, legally codified, and calendar-scheduled crisis of legitimacy. To understand why political systems require this recurring crisis, we must separate two distinct levels of political architecture: the constitutional order and the regime layer. The constitutional order represents the permanent architecture of the state, the fundamental rules of the game, the institutional framework, and the underlying social contract. This level is engineered to endure for generations. It cannot be subjected to daily reassessment without threatening the entire state with collapse. The regime layer, by contrast, consists of the temporary custodians of power, the sitting government, cabinet ministers, and active officials. Over time, systemic friction inevitably accumulates around any group of incumbents. Policy mistakes, economic strain, and public fatigue erode trust. If a system lacks a safe mechanism to vent this pressure, public frustration begins targeting the state itself. When citizens cannot lawfully replace their rulers, they start attempting to tear down the Constitution. This is precisely where elections perform their vital defensive function. Elections are a controlled crisis. In competitive democratic systems, the state officially sanctions public criticism, political rivalry, and direct challenges to the sitting government's mandate. In non-democratic systems, elections often take on a formal, ritualistic, or plebiscitary character, offering citizens a chance to merely ratify a predetermined course. Yet, even there, they serve as a tool for elite cohesion, data gathering, and demonstrating control. Where genuine competition exists, however, elections operate as a vital safety valve. By subjecting the government to a binding procedural test, the system accomplishes two goals. First, it channels societal anger into peaceful avenues, replacing street riots with ballot papers or digital votes. Second, it executes what political scientists call a reconsolidation of legitimacy, a systemic reset of public grievances. If the incumbent power prevails, its legitimacy is refreshed and re-sanctified. If the opposition wins, accumulated discontent is discharged, and a new set of custodians takes office with a renewed mandate. In both cases, the core constitutional architecture remains untouched, while the regime layer successfully rotates. Elections do not exist merely for the romantic triumph of the popular will. They function as a hard-headed institutional mechanism for state self-preservation, a tool that staves off unmanaged systemic collapse and periodically restores the state's recognized right to rule.